Hi, and thanks for checking out our review of the Infinity Evo Gore-Tex boots from TCX. This is like a touring boot with a little bit of adventure thrown in. It is a big step up over the previous TCX/Oxtar Infinity. Fits better, feels better, more support. We really like it. Let's get started. First, a little bit of background on TCX. They are a division of a company named Jolly Scarpa, who is based in the Veneto region of northern Italy, where all the really cool footwear is made. Jolly Scarpa's main business is making really specialized boots, for example, for firefighters, and also for some other really technical applications. They have a motorcycle boot division. It is now called TCX. Before that, it was called Oxtar. They were in fact sued by another big Italian boot manufacturer who felt that their names were too similar, and they lost that suit and had to change their names. Really set them back, but they did rebound and they built some great stuff. If you haven't heard of them, it's because they haven't aggressively promoted their line in the US, but also because they were mainly a contract manufacturer. They have built Gore-Tex boots for lots of companies for a very long time, and in fact they built some other stuff too. They built the Nike motocross boot for Ryan Dungey and for James Stewart. So they've got some really good boot building technical capabilities, really good chops for that. Let's get started on the basics though of the Infinity Evo. Now this one retails for $399.99. It comes in sizes, it's sold in a European scale. It comes in sizes 38, which is roughly a 5.5, all the way up to a 48, which is roughly a size 13. But it's sold in the European scale, so make sure that you research that, take the average of the European sizing of your casual athletic or hiking shoes when you're looking for your sizing. It is pretty light. It's about 2.6 pounds and about 13.5 inches. Pretty typical for boots in this particular space. The competitors for the Infinity Evo are numerous. There's probably a half a dozen different boots in the Alpinestars line that are in a similar space. Other more notable ones are the Forma Cape Horn, the Guernet G Midland, the CD Canyon, and the CD Armada. We kind of feel that this fits into the sort of rugged sport touring or light adventure touring category. As far as the styling of the Infinity Evo, a few remarks on that because it's important. It's an important part of the whole story. You know, this is a pretty typical touring boot, which means a little bit boring and black. 2 buckles and Velcro and kind of a black chassis. But the build quality, the refinement of it is really good. So when it's hard to get that to come through the camera, but the lines of the boot are really nice and classy. There's just a nice bunch of shape, a nice bit of shape to it. You know, kind of bulges out a little bit around the calf here, and then the toe and the forefoot are really slim. It's a really elegant style. Moving on to the construction. First of all, the TCX Infinity Evo is Gore-Tex, and that means not just waterproof, but waterproof and guaranteed to keep you dry. It's got that Gore-Tex lifetime guarantee. So that's a very good thing. It means the waterproof longevity of the boot is extended because Gore does a very good job of building a rugged membrane. What Gore also does is they are very picky about what materials you can spec on the boot. What they want you to use for the most part is full grain leather, and that's what this has. It has a full grain leather chassis with very few seams. It's a really nice quality leather. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's got a really great feel to it all the way around, nice and soft and supple. The protective capabilities of the boot are augmented, supplemented by hard inserts, not very big, but they've got hard inserts here at the shin. They've got a hard insert here over the very front of the toe. They've got a hard insert here in and around the heel counter, nice and firm. And then disc-shaped supports on the inner and the outer ankle, or the malleolus bone, if you want to be multisyllabic. There is, one of the nicest features about this is there is really good padding in the ankle area. They've done a fantastic job of making the ankle area heavily padded on the inside so it really wraps and supports your ankle. Then speaking to the sole of the boot, this is something that TCX has developed with Michelin. It's based on the look of the Michelin Anarchy tire, and Michelin helped them with a compound. It's really sticky, it's got really good grip, but according to TCX, it's got really good wear characteristics. It's going to last a really long time. The buckles are a very simple aluminum male-female design, just like everyone else's, but they work great. They've got a nice little positive lock to it, and it's got a Velcro closure. Incidentally, usually a Velcro upper closure is great for people that have big calves. Not so much on this one. This is good for people up to about 17, maybe 18 inches. But if you have a really large calf, you probably need to look at some other boots like the Alpinestars Toucan or the Alpinestar Scout or several others. But it works for people up to about 17, 18 inches pretty well. As far as the sizing and fit of it, it is, as we say, on size. I don't like the words true to size. It seems to be overused and misused. This is on size, meaning a 47 fits like a 47. Not big, not small. It does have a lot of width to it. It's kind of hard to see actually how wide this boot is, how wide it wears, but there's a good amount of width on the inside in the forefoot. It really is good for accommodating a fairly wide foot. But in addition to that, because the heel and the ankle are so nice and slim and have such good padding, this boot also works well if you don't have a wide foot. You don't get a lot of slop because your foot is really held in place in this area. Another thing about the fit, fit isn't just volume, it's also shape, and the shape of this is excellent. It's hard to convey on the camera, but there's just a nice elegance to the shape of the toe. It's really slim, it really follows the contours of the foot, very easy to get under a shift lever. The boot just feels really, really good to put on. They really nailed the fit. The old Infinity, in fact, had a little bit of a voluminous kind of chunky fit. This is much, much better. Big, big improvement on it all the way around. And again, it's sold in sizes 38 through 48. Okay, let's get to our bomber comments. All the basic details of this boot are pretty straightforward, not a lot of revolutionary stuff. But really the devil is in the details. Two things. First of all, straight up, TCX is a brand that we've been a little bit lukewarm on. They have built some great stuff. They have great boot building capabilities, but some of their models in the past have just been, okay, and we haven't been overly impressed. They're a great company, and the folks in TCX North America up in New Hampshire are really supportive. Their customer service is outstanding. Shout out to them. But this boot really changes that. This is perhaps the star of their line, the best boot in their line. Why? Because it is a very simple design and they nailed the execution of it. I get so tired of product managers that throw a million bells and whistles and a really good two-dimensional paper design at manufacturing, and the stuff comes back and it actually has been poorly executed. But they trump and go, yay, this is really great. No, what really matters is how much time you spend on the R&D of it, and you make sure that you get that last 5% out of the development process. That's what they did here. This thing is really well executed. The fit of it is fantastic. The feel of it is fantastic. And the most important part of that last comment is this. This boot has an exceptional ankle area. The padding in the ankle and the shape of this boot give it much, much more support than any other boot in the sport touring category. When you put this on, the ankle support of it is really almost as confidence inspiring as some light motocross boots. It just completely envelops your ankle. It's very heavily padded, so it's super comfortable, but you feel like it's got great support. And then in addition to that, because it's light and because it has really good flex in the forefoot, it's very, very easy to walk in. It looks really good if you have a pant leg over it and you're using it in a casual setting. You're going into an event, or you're going to to a restaurant, or you got to walk around the city for a while. The boot just really looks really good, pardon me. And then all the basic details, like how the buckles open and close and how easy they work, and the fit and finish of the boot are outstanding. So the execution of this is really, really awesome. They really nailed it. Who is it for? Well, it's not really for the hardcore adventure rider. I'd say that it is for the slightly more road-oriented adventure rider, or someone that is on a sport touring bike, frankly, and wants a sport touring boot that has an above average amount of protection. It's obviously for people that are doing a lot of walking in the boot because it's so light and so comfortable. And then, if you want a black, simple, elegant looking boot, then this one is for you. It is also for people that really understand and appreciate a very high level of quality, because you've really got that. And so in that way, it's almost a more complete design, because they didn't they didn't drop the ball throughout any part of the process when they're coming out with this thing. In fact, they just kind of nailed it all the way around. As far as how it compares to the competition, well, the ankle area and the support of the shaft of this boot are much better than the Guaranteed G Midland. The shaft is taller and more supportive than the CD Canyon, which is a little bit of a low boot. We really like that boot, but it's not quite as robust as this, and this is just about as comfortable. It's a much nicer boot than the CD Armada, which is frankly kind of a whacked design in our opinion. And it's a lot more elegant and a lot more refined than the former Cape Horn, although that boot is great for people with big calves and it's much, much less money. So as far as how this stacks up against the competition, this is another important statement. This is really the best boot in the category, we feel. We've looked at a lot of stuff, and when we got this, it was like, okay, this is just awesome. In that regard, you know, we want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of it. We really didn't find any weaknesses in this boot. There's really nothing that we really think where, you know, we need to point out anything that is a negative about it. In fact, the overarching idea that we have is that it just has that wow feel. You put it on and just go, wow. We had a customer that recently bought a pair, and he was a little bit skeptical about it. I really said, hey, these are great, and you got to get them, you got to try them. And you put them on, and he's a smart guy, and he was very, very impressed. And I think that, frankly, you would be too, because it's so well executed. So the TCX Infinity Evo Gore-Tex is definitely bomber recommended from Atomic-Moto because it is the best boot in its space. And that's a good time to wrap this up. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the bombers. We are mission focused on getting you the right gear for you, your bike, your type of riding. We love working with great product like this, and we hope to see you out on the bike.